Training is very rigorous. It's physically and psychologically taxing.
The training has been very good and extremely intense.
You are giving your 110% best at all times.
It prepares you to deal with real life scenarios you're going to see on the road.
It's something that I feel will better me off in the field.
It's a 7-week training academy, and there's 10 recruits, which is the largest recruit class that we've had, certainly in the past 20 years that I've been here.
One of the things for the hiring process was wanting the best possible candidates. So I changed the process to be a values-based process, one in which we looked at people's core values, because at the end of the day, I can train most people how to drive a car, I can train most people how to write a report, but that inner core piece is something that you really can't train people on. So I wanted to make sure that we had people that were matching our core value here of respect. It is a very diverse group.
Well, my journey was well traveled. I worked for 2 different sheriff's departments. I came here recently from the Hennepin County Sheriff's Department.
I worked for a construction company, was a carpenter.
I was previously employed here as a CSO or cadet.
I got into corrections. I worked for Scott County Jail for about 2 years.
So I actually started out working in corrections. I worked at Ramsey County Jail as a CO for a couple years. And then I was sworn as a deputy there, and I was there for 3 years as a deputy.
I actually had a completely different career before this. I was a makeup artist for 6 years. I worked in HR. I was server, bartender. I've done a little bit of everything.
I spent the last couple of years with St. Cloud PD as a patrol officer.
Having a department that's reflective of the community, I believe, is going to allow us to continue to be the most respectful and most respected department in the country.
One, I heard it was very hard to get into this department, but anytime I've ever mentioned the department to anyone, they were always say, whoa, that's an elite department. New leadership, I really enjoy what's going on. I like the direction that this is going to. I believe great organizations are built from the top down.
I always wanted to come to Bloomington. I think it's a great department. I'm very impressed with the leadership. There's a lot of great opportunities, and I'm very excited to be here.
Bloomington's always been a destination department for me where I could see myself for longevity. There's a lot of opportunities here.
I come from a law enforcement family. I've heard nothing but great things about Bloomington PD, the reputation.
I wanted to be able to serve the community I grew up in, and that to me was a huge draw to the city of Bloomington.
I've heard fantastic things about the people that work here and also just the environment. Very cohesive and very welcoming, and especially in this line of work, that's a positive.
Not a lot of departments in Minnesota have individualized academies.
And that includes just about everything. Arrest control, firearms, first aid, emergency driving, just the whole gamut.
We're a unique department in terms of how we police here. Each individual officer is expected to handle his or her calls. She or he is expected to go out here and be a police officer and be able to independently operate.
A lot of the scenario training that we do is try to shorten the time it takes for them to develop some experience. It's difficult to do that completely, but we try to shorten the learning curve a little bit.
Our goal with the police department here is to get them prepared to make appropriate decisions that follow case law, that follow state statutes, that follow our policy, because the community deserves to have highly trained officers that are prepared and ready to deal with a wide variety of calls that we're presented with on a daily basis.
All the training's been a lot of fun, and starting with a group has been super impactful, getting to know all your coworkers before you're out on the road and building those bonds with them. So it's been a great experience so far.
Our instructors here are phenomenal, and they really take the time to make sure that we are ready by the time we hit the road and we can be the best officers that we can be to serve the city of Bloomington.